Hi guys, this is Steph and I am reporting from my house in Brooklyn, and this is episode 3 of my mental wellness channel. And it's been a minute since I did the second episode, so my apologies for the wait. This episode is going to be about self-care. I had someone on Facebook ask me to do an episode. I think her name's Jennifer. I'm not sure. I think it's Jennifer. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. So I'm doing this episode for you. Based on self-care. So there's a few things I could talk about. Mostly I'm going to touch on 3 different ways or 3 different categories of self-care. There's physical self-care, there's mental self-care, and there's emotional, spiritual, body energy self-care. So those are the 3 things I'm going to talk about. Physical self-care, pretty straightforward stuff like diet, exercise, getting enough sleep. These are all things that are pretty self-explanatory, but things that we don't always do. This year I did make some changes in my diet, and when I was eating really, really good and being on point with what I was taking into my body and knowing about the nutrition, and I felt better, and I felt better knowing that I was making that choice to put good food into my body, and I felt better. So that's something that I've done this year that's been a different change for me, is actually really paying attention to food, things that I eat, the nutrition behind it, and also having more fun with exercise and working out and stuff like that. So there's another sort of like outside of the box thing that I do for physical self-care. Sometimes if I have like a stressful day, I kind of, spend an hour or something like that doing like a spa at my house. So you don't have to go to an actual spa and spend money, but like if I'm stressed out or if I'm like, you know what, I really need some time to sort of pamper myself, I'll spend an hour, just go into my own spa and have a hot bath and do a face mask or do my nails or do a treatment in my hair and just spend the extra time pampering myself, because it really makes me feel like I'm paying attention to myself and giving myself, that extra love, I suppose. So that's a tip for physical care. I'm going to move into mental self-care, and there's 2 things I could talk about mental self-care. One of them is recognizing negative thought patterns, or recognizing negative, self-sabotage, and being able to avoid engaging in it. I know it's hard. It's easier said than done, and it's very hard to avoid sometimes, but if you just practice a little bit here and a little bit there to be able to be like, okay, there's a negative thought, or there's a negative thought pattern, and just try your best to not engage it or not let it ruin your day. And also, social media has a huge play on mental self-care, I think. Obviously, a lot of us spend a lot of time on social media, myself included. I have to. It's part of my job. But sometimes when you find yourself just mindlessly scrolling through social media feeds for no particular reason other than to just because you're bored, that's like kind of like a mental, unsafe zone, because you don't know what you might happen to see or what sort of rabbit hole thought pattern you might fall through because of that. So social media, I guess when you're engaging in it, keep in mind to avoid social media pitfalls. So for example, if you're trying to lose weight and you don't feel particularly good about your body, and you happen to scroll through Instagram and just go down the path of looking at all these beautiful skinny models, like that's obviously going to make you feel really bad. And, or if you're trying to be successful at something and you see other people that are doing things that you want to be doing and you compare yourself to their life, that's also a pitfall. Being able to recognize social media pitfalls and just simply not doing them. I mean, I know it's hard to not do them completely, but at least maybe like try and limit it a little bit and be like, okay, if I do that, I know it's going to make me feel this way. So, and I care about myself enough to know that I don't want to feel this way, so I'm just not going to do it. So that's something that I've experienced too. I have my own social media pitfalls that, if I go on a rampage, I start to feel crappy and I'm like, okay, maybe I just shouldn't do this anymore. And when you put it out of your mind, you really do feel better. So those are two things for mental self-care. And the last one is emotional, spiritual, soul care. And I'm kind of excited to talk about this one because I'm a list person. I make lists all the time. I also like to draw, like to use my hands and draw on paper and pen. So I made this list of things that make me happy, and I called it my soul list. And this is what it looks like. And these are all the things that make me feel happy. So some of the things on here are cooking new recipes, hobbies, things that I'm passionate about, meditation, doing art, whatever it may be. You can make your own soul list and just have it on a piece of paper and be like, okay, these are all things that make me spiritually happy, my energy happy, my soul happy, and I'm going to make a commitment to try and do more of these things. So there's a tip if you want to give that a go. I really think it's helped me a lot to be able to be like, okay, this is my happy place. Let's make sure that we try and put more of this into my daily life, because if the rest of your life is just stress and work and unwanted situations, and you haven't given yourself enough blocks of time throughout the day or the week or the month to do these things, then you're absolutely going to feel like you're not being cared for, and then it affects the rest of your life. So I hope this has been helpful. This episode is I guess concluded. If you want to suggest any topics, actually I was just going to say that I kind of want to go into this into a separate episode, because I think this is a really good one. So those are the three things that I think are really helpful for self-care. Jennifer, thank you so much for emailing me on Facebook and suggesting this topic. I think it's really awesome. If anyone else wants to hit me up for topics, feel free. StephLangmusic@gmail.com. Thanks.